Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm Jeff Dover. With me is John Barbin. Let's talk football.
All right, we're picking the divisional round games, picks and previews, and I guess we'll just avoid our picks from last year. Well, you know what? Last week, the picks, some of them were dependent. I was going to go Packers if Hurts wasn't playing, but he played, so we just stayed away from that game. The Vikings game didn't work out too well.
No, you made a good point of saying that was my idea too when we did that show. There's like this just everyone knows that this Dover
everyone knows that was a Dover
that was
pick.
really wrong in the Minnesota one. I don't know what happened to Darnold. It was the last two games that was not what he looked like all season.
No.
And as we said in our last episode, the Rams have really rounded into form. So
yeah, and
that one.
And that Rams defensive performance now looks like that's a thing that they keep doing it. So good for the Rams defense, and geez, that's just too bad for the Vikings. It's a crappy way to end that season. We did take the over in the Bills game that didn't hit because the Broncos couldn't contribute at all to that total.
Other than that opening, there was the Bills defense was awesome. They had the Broncos had the opening touchdown, then nothing,
totally
really
smothering.
Nothing after
so that was a little surprising on that one. And then we
got Washington.
And we got a sweaty under on the Ravens game against the Steelers. Like once it hit 28-14, I thought, oh my God, we're not getting this under. And it just stayed there for the whole rest of the game.
Which is sort of what we thought would happen anyway, because the Baltimore's was going to rely on once they're up, they just give it to Henry. And,
I thought it was going to be like 30-10 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it
was really close to that, 28-14.
So,
all right. So what we got? So we got Houston, Kansas City coming up. First game on the Saturday. What's your thoughts on that one?
Well, I see KC -8, but the total's 41.5. So I guess they're just expecting this to be a typical Chiefs game, like the whole thing stays low. The -8, I don't know what to make of that. So again, this is threading the needle. They're expecting like a Ravens Steelers game. They're expecting KC to kill them and basically hold the Texans to very, very few points here. Again, like a 28-10 game or something like that.
Yep.
Which I can totally see happening. Now, again, I'm all about the goldfish recency bias. That Texans defense looked really, really good.
Yep. Part of the reason why the whole total's low.
Right. But then again, they got their doors blown off against the Ravens and only scored 2 points at the end of the season. So which Texans defense is going to show up? Is it just that the Chargers are limited and it made the Texans look good? I mean, Herbert for sure made the Texans look better than how they did against the Ravens. So I don't know what to make of it. It's hard to tell. Like Stingley looks good. Lassiter looks like those guys all look really good. But then you just go 2 weeks ago and it looked awful. So I don't know what to think. We haven't seen the Chiefs in a while, but we know what the Chiefs are. Do they have any? I don't think there's any key injuries coming into this game.
But Casey had the bye, right?
Yeah.
So I think everyone's going to be healthier. I think that. So what I took away from the wild card round is that almost everything was under. Like every game hit the under, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And the home field meant a lot. And then the buys mean a lot. So I don't think everything can keep going with the unders. So I was going to take the over. What I felt Kansas City -8, I feel pretty good about, but I'm going to take the over 41.5 as my pick, just because I think that Houston will. I'm hoping that their offense from last game is the one that shows up, not the one from the 2 weeks ago against Baltimore. And I think Kansas City is going to be, I think the rest is going to do them well. And I think they're going to come out and move in.
Oh man, I was going to take the under.
Really? Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going to have a lock fight here.
Okay.
I'm picturing the Chiefs being at full. Well, I'm assuming Chris Jones is going to be at fully healthy and there's nothing up going on with him. Then I expect the Chiefs
is so low. Yeah.
I expect the Chiefs to do to them with what the Ravens just did to the Steelers.
Yeah. It was
now
all
41.5 is really low.
Yeah, but it's like all the other ones. Like it was like the Eagles Packers last week. It was like 22-10, and it was even the hold on, what's the one I was thinking about? Even like the Denver Buffalo, that was 31-7. That's 38. Like it's
but that's I think the Chiefs can do. I think that's what this is going to be. I don't think
27-9 was the right. So like all those would be under your 41. So
yeah, I think this could be like 28-10 or something like that. Like this, I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think that
sweaty under.
I think the Texans defensive line can get some pressure on. I mean, everyone's getting pressure on the Chiefs lately. Just Mahomes can get out of it, but it does limit them from being utterly explosive, but I'm not saying. I mean, I still think they can get probably.
Yeah.
I don't know,
All right.
4 touchdowns, something like 28-30 to 10, something like that.
Yep.
Now that's super close to obviously to the 41.5, but that I just see, to me, that's what I think is going to happen here.
All right. You've convinced me. We'll do the under, and and at Kansas City, you never know what the weather's going to be like. So that's another factor in there.
But do you actually put how much, if you were going to go over, how much do you think the Texans are even contributing to that?
Yeah, I mean, I need them to get at least like 10 points to.
And you think Casey's getting like 35?
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, that's a good point. So we'll go under, and we'll sweat it out, but it's
just the way the KC plays. I don't think they even care to try to get to that number.
No.
I think they'd rather fit it into it's what they've been doing so consistently.
Yeah.
I don't.
That is their identity. It really is
well, they've only broken defense. 30 once this year. Now they've hit 30 a couple of times, but I don't know if they've gone past 30, if at all, or once.
That's a great question.
They've gotten to 30 multiple times, but I don't know if they've even gone past 30.
No. So winning. So the points Kansas City Chiefs have scored this season starting week 1. So 27, 26, 22, 17, 26, 28, 27, 30 once in overtime. 16 in a win against Denver, beat them 16-14. A loss 30-21, so they only scored 21 there. 30 at Carolina, then 19-19, 21, 27, 29. Yeah. So
right. So they haven't they've hit 30, but they haven't gone past 30. So even if they go 30 to 10, I get this one. So now that obviously means the Chiefs defense has got to bottle the Texans up, but I can see it happening, and I do not see it all this game going the way the wild card game with the Texans and just sacking him all the time and tons of turnovers. Like, I don't see any of that happening.
Right. Yeah, that's a low total. That's going to be one of the lowest totals I bet on. That's not like a service academy.
Yeah, this will be sweaty. Yep. All right. Well, I'm glad you came over to the dark side with me.
Yeah, I'm with you. You made a good point.
Moving on. Commanders, Lions.
Man.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one?
55.5. You want to go under that? That's a big number.
Yeah, that's a big number. It's the God.
I don't really trust this to go under that at all.
I know. I don't. There's really not a lot of value at this point now in the NFL playoffs because
there's no value in any of this. I'm just going for broke here.
Yeah. These lines are pretty much, I think, bang on. I think what they're describing, like the totals and the line, and it's really hard to find any value with this because there's so many people betting on now than there ever has been before.
Oh yeah.
So it's really tough, but I mean, I think that unlike the Kansas City Houston game, I think both these teams can score. I think they'll move the ball. I think that, it'll be more scoring than the Kansas City Houston game, but that's still like 2 touchdowns and you're still under. Like it could be 2 touchdowns more and we're still good in the under, like after the total from the Houston Kansas City game. So anyway, it's it's just a lot of points, and we're going to ride the train, or the Barban's goldfish principle, where
we're going over 55.5.
What?
Over.
You just said under.
No. Oh. I didn't say under. I'm doing the revert. I'm going to go under the lowest total and over the highest.
Good God, man. What happened to you?
You betcha.
Really?
Lions are getting at least 30 points in this game.
You're unbelievable. I don't even know what to think anymore.
Just roll with it. Just roll with it. We're at the end of the season now. It doesn't matter anymore. We're at the end of the season now. I'm going to sweat that other.
I'm really worried about
and I want to thread the needle. We're taking KC to cover, right?
You want to do that too?
Oh yeah, I thought we established that. I'm telling you, man, that game's going to be 30-10. That's a cover and an under. And
all right,
both
so
of them,
just to recap, we're officially taking Kansas City minus the 8, and we're officially taking the under 41.5.
You betcha.
And we're officially taking the over 55.5.
You betcha.
Oh, you're crazy.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is going to go off,
just like you said last week. So we're going to title this one officially Barban's picks this week, and
I'll take it. I'll take all of these.
All right. This is Barban's divisional round, brought to you by Saturday versus Sunday. Okay, so the reason why it would go over is because Detroit's offense keeps humming like it's been doing, and Jalen Daniels still does Jalen Daniels things.
Jalen's on Kansas.
Sorry.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Jay Daniels. So he's Jay to his friends. So
Yep.
so he's gonna have over 250 yards passing. He's gonna hit McLaurin on a couple of deep balls.
Yep.
It'd be great if Eckler could knock out a couple of runs at this point. So all right. So we'll get we're the over 55 and a half.
Expecting some fireworks out of this game.
Perfect.
Now,
oh my goodness.
What about Detroit minus 10? I'm
not touching that.
Okay, we'll just take the over.
But hey, this is Barban's.
No, we're just taking the over.
What do you want to do?
Take the over. Just leave it on the over.
It's hard to bet on a rookie QB winning 2 playoff games in a row.
It would have been hard to bet on him winning the first one.
I know. So that's but it's just 10's a lot. You know, like
I know it's a ton. It's a ton.
Yeah.
So we'll just take the over.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along, Sunday, Rams, Eagles. I expect this to be ugly.
Yeah. It's a low total, not as low as the 41.5, but still 3.5 is not a big total. Feels like a bit of a rock fight game. Philly's offense was not humming last week. The Rams, like we talked about, looked good, but it's more of their identity. It feels like now is more possession and running just to keep them honest and stuff. So it does feel like a bit of a rock fight game. What are you thinking for this one?
All right, you ready? Everyone ready? Here we go. We're going to take the under and the Rams to cover.
Yeah, I feel good about that one. That's we're on the same page here. This is we're back to Saturday versus Sunday picks.
Yeah.
And it's but I think you're right. I think it's going to be both defenses are peaking right now. Neither offenses look dynamic or explosive or anything. Really. So under the 43.5 is pretty good. And I like the plus 6.5 for the Rams too. It's at Philly. That's a tough environment. But I think, like you said, if it's going to be a low scoring game, then that's almost a touchdown. And so I think it could be a field goal game either way. So yeah. And I think that the Rams, like you said, we're not sure if Hurts is the answer, and the Rams are playing like a championship caliber football right now.
Yeah. If we're going to go and forget all of the wise guy analytics, if we're just going to go on the last 4 games that the Rams starters actually played, they haven't even given up 10 points.
Yeah.
It's 4 games in a row that defense has not given up 10 points. Philly, man, they're winning and their defense is good. But like to your point, their offense doesn't score a lot. I don't think they even care to want to score a lot if they can control the ball. Philly is happy to play like the Chiefs to do the same thing. They just grind you. They don't care they don't need to get into track meets. Apparently AJ Brown would rather be reading books and just learning about life than I don't know what it is. Obviously the Philly fans, some of them think it is Hurts, and it doesn't sound right with that kind of talent that they can't pass the ball, or at least choose not to, or they've leaned so heavily into the run game. And he's not a stupid coordinator. He knows what he's doing. It's just it's shocking to me that the run game is so strong and the pass game is just disappearing. So and it didn't look like this in the last few years. That pass game was awesome.
Yeah. No, and because teams really got to focus on Barkley. And so when you focus that much on that, it should open up the pass. And I don't know why it's not better.
You know what? This is odd. Like, I wonder if it'll actually get in their own way. If Barkley has another 175-yard game, and it looks like what happened with Green Bay. I mean, they got lucky with 4 turnovers with Green Bay. Like that kept, and Green Bay still outgained them. If the Rams don't turn the ball over here, I don't think they can get away with that again. They can't do what they did in their offensive output or performance that they had against Green Bay. Won't beat the Rams.
No, it won't. You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah. So Rams to cover, and we'll take the under. And you know what's last item? Philly fans, their patience is about 2 minutes.
Yes, it is.
They're booing them in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I just can't. That's what Dina said. She's like, what is with this? This team is good. What is with these fans?
No.
And it seems unique to Philly.
Oh.
Like they're 14-3. They win a playoff game. In the middle of that playoff game, their fans are booing them.
Yeah. We talked about that earlier this season. Like it was the most disgruntled 14 or 10 plus win team I've ever seen ever.
The team itself and the fans.
Yeah.
No, what I mean, what?
Philly's a great place when you're fantastic. It'd be hard pressed to have a better place to be a sports hero than in Philly. And there's also probably not a worse place to be when you're not doing well sports wise than Philly. So
I think I'm starting to come around and have a bit more sympathy for Sirianni. It's such a unique head coaching job to have in a city that's got like that much patience.
yeah.
So yeah. Now, to be, with that said, he shouldn't be like jawing at fans, but I can see how he's like, you got to be kidding me. Like we're doing fine. My stupid team can't even agree and we're winning and they're complaining about who's getting the ball and you guys are booing us. And like, what else do we have to do? I guess you got to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Right.
So, all right, moving on. Ravens, Bills. What?
Ooh.
Okay.
Game of the weekend?
Yeah. Game of the year so far. Now at the beginning of the season, I don't know if we even said this, but I know we were thinking it. It's one of these two teams and the Chiefs is going to be in the AFC Championship game. And one of these two teams seems like now that Burrow and the Chiefs or the Bengals couldn't get into the playoffs, one of these two has got to be the one that can put up at least a fight against the Chiefs. Now,
I would have loved to have seen Kansas City have to play Baltimore and Buffalo.
Yes, it sucks that they're facing each other right here.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they've played them both already this season. The Bills managed to get them and the Ravens couldn't. 51.5, Baltimore -1.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess they're slightly favoring Baltimore because this is in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think weather will matter. They're both cold weather teams. They're fully adjusted to the cold.
Yeah, as long as it's not like a blizzard in Buffalo, then it should be
okay. Yeah. I guess the weather can get worse in Buffalo than Baltimore. I don't know. I don't know what the weather report is if there's a chance for snow, but the last game it actually got kind of nice. Sun came out.
Yeah.
Our Buffalo insider Pete was at the game and he said it was actually once the sun came out, the temperature actually got like 32-ish. That's not too bad. That's not too bad when the sun's out. So
for Buffalo in January, that's not bad.
Yeah, it suggests it'll be 21 degrees, I think. Anyways, I don't know. That's pretty freaking cold. Do you have a feeling on any of this?
I'm really excited to watch the game.
Yeah.
It's too bad they have to play each other now. I'm really struck by Buffalo's last performance. I've got too much of the goldfish memory in me because they looked amazing. And
so did the Ravens.
And at Buffalo is going to be a tough thing to ask. But what was your thought on it?
I don't know. I mean, the line is a pick 'em. I don't know if I want to touch the over under 51.5. I know I'm going over 55 on a different game, but I just don't expect the defenses to be as good as these two defenses. The only issue here, both run games are on it.
Right
so
now,
they'd like to grind the game down if possible.
Yeah, both teams would want to limit the number of possessions the other team gets on offense.
Right. Both quarterbacks are utter game changers. And when it has to happen, they both can make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
This might be the best two teams that we can possibly put together left in the playoffs. As far as the Chiefs just perpetual winning aside, the talent between Jackson and Allen on the field. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess whoever wins this going against the Chiefs is the next one where you've got like overwhelming talent at quarterback, but this is the only other game kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
So even in the Super Bowl, whoever is representing the NFC, it's not quite like these two and Mahomes. I mean, as good as whoever's left is in the NFC, they're not. I wouldn't put them on Allen, Mahomes, or Jackson's level quite. There's not anyone like that. So this is. I don't think I'm going to bet on anything here. I just want to watch it because it's a pick 'em. -1's just a pick 'em.
Yep.
And it's the home field advantage. It'll be loud. So they might get a couple procedural penalties. That's for sure. And it just comes down to, I think, which defense even has a remote shot at slowing down the other one's run game, not the pass game, the run game.
Yes, I agree.
I think that's all it is.
That's for that reason. If I had to pick something, I'd probably pick Baltimore. I just feel a bit better about their run game than Buffalo's, and I think that I think both of them, I'd be tempted by the under. Like both teams can score, that's for sure. I just think the game plan is going to be to try and not let Buffalo doesn't want to keep giving the ball to Lamar Jackson, and Baltimore doesn't want to keep giving the ball to Allen. So I just think that I lean toward the under, but I'll take Baltimore just as a pick 'em, and I think at Buffalo is going to be really tough. The last Buffalo game looked amazing, but it's
Mhm.
just I'm going to think that we've said it all season. It's Derrick Henry in the third and fourth quarter is too tough to stop. So I'm just going to go with that.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't feel good about it.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because these are two really good teams.
Yeah,
It's really a bummer that the Chiefs didn't
I
get a
know.
chance to play both of them, because that
Yeah,
just would have been kind of cool to see them have to really overcome both of them all the way through here.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you. Ravens, not comfortable about it at all. All right, I think that's it. You got anything else? Any other
Nope.
comments here? All right.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, that's our picks and previews. We're going under the lowest total and over the highest total. So again, Jeff points out that's my picks.
It's the Barb and roller coaster weekend.
We'll see what happens.
Highs and lows.
All right. Well, come back to the channel and check out our preview of the college national championship game. Catch you later.